when it comes to like losing somebody in your life. I feel like the day that you lose, I'll just speak on it. When I lost my sister, I knew that my life would never be the same after that.
Yeah.
I knew it. From that day on, my life would not be the same because a piece is now missing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's taken time. My whole life has shifted, but it's not as much as it's a bad and dark situation for me. I can't say that it's all bad though. You are best friend of my life.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. It's Nefertiti, and I'm back with another video. Hey. Okay, guys. So today we're going to be doing an interview, but today I'm going to be getting interviewed for the first time. So I'm not really sure what she's going to ask me. It's more like a freestyle. So I'm just going to let her ask the questions, and I'm going to answer them, and y'all get to see. You know, I'm going to be real and honest as much as I can about these questions. So, guys, this is my best friend, Jocelyn. We've been friends since we were like, what, 12 or 13 years old? Long time.
Don't cut years off.
How long ago? Like 12?
No.
Yeah, like 12. And we've known each other for a very long time. We've been through a lot. This is my day one, A1, ride or die. So, you know, I really don't know what she's about to ask.
So I really don't know what I'm going to ask either.
So let's just get into it.
Freestyle.
Okay.
So let's begin by, you are known for being positive and uplifting and happy. You have a very strong faith, correct?
Yeah.
Well, my question to you is, and I'm sure other people might want to know, you do, in case you don't want to say that, is what is it that, I don't know how much you tell everybody, but you obviously grew up with some struggle. You probably don't speak on all of it. I know you have spoken on some. So what keeps you on a positive path to keep going in a good direction and not allow the things you've gone through pull you the opposite way? Because that obviously can happen.
The vision of what I want my future to be like. Because growing up, like the lifestyle we lived, I would always say how much I hated it. Because I hated the struggle, what I had to go through, and what like we went through because of our parents. So it makes me drive to want to be better. And obviously God, because I know without praying and staying close to Him, I don't know if I would be as positive. I probably would be a little bit more like aggressive or maybe handle situations different. So He kind of keeps me, He keeps me on a straight path. But praying all the time, that's what keeps me at peace. But also having a vision of knowing where I want to be in life makes me stay structured. Yeah.
So, my next question is, I don't know if it's a secret to your viewers, but you were at a point when you were growing up where you were walking the line between right or left. You weren't always this calm and composed and had this much control of yourself. So where do you, when you think of the turning point in your life where like you knew, okay, this is what I want, I need to get it right, even though I'm a kid, like I know that this is not looking good for me. What is that turning point for you when you realize like my future's brighter than what I'm doing?
When my dad died, changed my whole perspective. Because my dream wasn't to ever be nothing like this. I told you I wanted to be a drug dealer and stuff like that. But when he died, I was forced to move somewhere else around kids who actually did stuff that kids do, and I started to be involved in like sports and different things. So I learned that I can be more than just a part of the streets. So if he would have never died, I probably would have stayed in the streets. Nothing against him, but the atmosphere that he lived in, that we lived in, kept me like there. And when I was in a different atmosphere and I seen people actually being kids, like doing something with their life and realizing that you're not just confined to like selling drugs or running the streets or doing bad stuff you're not supposed to be doing, I realized that I could be more, and learning that I'm good at other things besides being ratchet.
You're still good at that?
I am. I'm taking a little bit of pride. I just need a little bit of ratchet to stay here.
So my next question is, earlier, why did you put your hand in my Twizzler bag and ask me if your hand was in it?
Because I wanted to feel like I was being respectful, but either way, I was still going to take the Twizzler. Because I knew you was going to say yeah, but I just wanted to still be like mannerable.
How'd you know?
Because you're nice. So I had to be mannerable, but you know.
So earlier, as her hand is in my Twizzler bag, in it, she was to say, as it's coming out, hey, can I have one? Like you already took it, so I don't even really get a chance to even answer, so.
Well, when y'all know someone's going to say yeah, but you just don't want to just be rude and just take it without asking.
What if I went to the bathroom and didn't wait?
Oh, I would have been eating feces. Ew.
Maybe that's what
That's
happens.
Crazy. You know what? People do
what
that.
What if I sneeze and didn't wash my hands and then you're in my bag?
No, because people do that. This is a lesson. Because people don't be washing their hands and just touch other people's stuff. What if I did a little... That too. I would have been just brushing my teeth. I don't know.
You wouldn't have known.
I wouldn't have known.
Maybe that is what happened and you didn't brush your teeth yet. You're probably eating booty juice and boogers.
The gum helped me. I think God protected me because now I don't know. Now I'm not going to touch your stuff. Mm-hmm. Y'all don't touch people's stuff if y'all know where their hands been.
Lesson learned.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so speaking of kids playing games, this conversation can go right or left. I'm gonna keep on track. So, my next question to you is: we played many games as kids. I feel like even when we were in high school, and other kids our age were partying, we were still having everyone together and playing games. So what is your favorite memory of our childhood? What game was it and what memory sticks out the most?
When we were in the house, I used to live with my brother's baby's mom, and I would be there alone a lot.
Shout out to Angie, she's a real one.
Yeah, and she would let me have my friends over. She wouldn't be there all the time, and we would play hide and go seek in the house. And we were like high school, but it was so much fun because the house was so big, and we would hide. And I remember my friend, I'll never forget, he passed away, R.I.P. to Matt. And I went upstairs to go hide, and he was running down the steps and leaving. And I'm like, where are you leaving? He's like, you got ghosts in your house. And I was like, no. He's like, yeah, I'm leaving. I said, don't say nothing to nobody because I was scared. I was like, I don't want them to leave. He's like, they told me to leave, so I'm getting out. So he took his book bag and he dipped. But that was my favorite moment, is us playing hide and go seek, because even though people our age was kind of growing up and they were like out of that phase, it was still fun. And we didn't have to like smoke weed or drink alcohol to have fun. We were able to have fun with just each other. And that's what I loved about it. And the slip and slide, the soap in the water, that was fun too. That was. And
I also like the snowball fight.
I know that's my favorite too. The snow was super high. Like, was it by our knees at that time? Yeah, and we had socks on our hands. I was trying to bundle up, but that was fun. Yeah.
We put shopping bags around our feet and on our hands because we didn't have gloves or thick socks.
But you know what I think, and even now this applies now. If you don't bring out your inner kid, it's hard to have fun. Like, if you're just so serious all the time, you don't have like no type of inner child.
Or if you have to be under the influence to have fun. I don't think that bothers me. I don't think that everything you do when it comes to hanging out or making memories or having fun has to do with, oh, let's drink and do this, or let's go out and do this. Like, you can go for a hike or a walk, or if we said we're gonna go axe throwing. Yeah, like painting with a twist. Well, you weren't drinking for that, but there's other things you can do besides go to the bar.
I think that fun has a lot to do with who you are as a person, because we try to pay for fun, but if you're just a fun person, you can be creative. But why I think people drink and smoke to have fun is because they lose their imagination. Like, after a while, you get older, you it's not that you lose it, but you don't really care to like try to imagine doing things without it. So you think it's more fun with it, but it's like, if you just use your imagination, I'm sure you could do something really fun.
So I wish we had this video still, but speaking of our childhood memories and things that don't involve doing anything, when we were in, is that 7th grade or 8th grade?
What?
With the line.
Oh, look, 7th.
Okay, so.
Or maybe 8th, I don't know. Or was it high school?
No, we weren't in high school yet, because we were going to school together in Jeanette, and that's when you told me.
Oh, I
thought she couldn't give you detention.
Oh, okay. 7th grade. That was 7th grade.
So,
what?
TD's hair was,
That was high school because I didn't wear weave in
No.
middle school. Not till high school.
You sure?
Yeah, positive. I was natural all middle school, and then high school is when I started wearing weave. Them curly, different colors.
Kinky twist.
9th grade.
Oh.
9th grade. Yep.
Okay, well, we were in 9th grade.
Yeah.
And I always loved her hair with these kinky twists. It was a bunch of curls everywhere. But this one time she put it wasn't
three colors.
Yeah, and it was like burnt orange. It wasn't even blonde. It was like
a dark yellowish blonde.
It was like mustard looking.
Yeah, I'll put the colors here.
And then what's the other color? There's like some black in there.
Brown. What I was trying to do was do
but you didn't.
Burgundy like this and a blonde and a brown, but it didn't turn out the way I was thinking in my mind.
So I kept telling her she looked like a lion. So we made videos, kind of what we do now, but like we were being funny, just acting like we were like on TV or something, and we were just being stupid, and it was her acting like she's a lion, and she was rolling around, and I was dancing with a bear, and that's how we got our nicknames, called each other Burp Burp.
Yeah. No.
Yes, it is, because we did a dance for it. You said burp, burp.
Oh, yeah, that is right. Because I was going to say, I thought it was our secret code thing.
No, remember, because you that's where it came from, because you were making a
song.
beat while I was dancing with the bear.
Yep, that is crazy. I remember that in your room, and I think that I was trying to make the best out of that hairstyle because I just knew it wasn't the best one. I had a few hairstyles
but it took too long that you had to at least leave it in for a little bit.
Yeah, because I know it took hours. Lord. Everyone said something about that hairstyle.
So my next question for you is, when was I know that there's levels of heartbreak. But when do you think the first time your heart was broke?
I know. Listen, because I know when I was, my first love, I dated when I was 16 years old. So I don't know if I was 16 or 17 when he broke my heart, but around that time, I'll never forget. Completely heartbroken. Well, my dad. You know, boyfriend. Okay. That. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I felt like, I don't know what I felt like. It was just like, I felt like my heart was just so heavy. I was just so sad, and I never felt pain like that. Like, besides my dad passing away, I didn't know that type of heartbreak. I loved him so much. That was 16, 17. You
want to say his name though?
No, Lord, no. I'm not gonna say his name, but I didn't know nothing about. I knew about guys, but I didn't know nothing serious at that time, and I didn't know nothing about cheating, nothing about none of that, and I was stupid and naive, and I basically let him break my heart. But
don't go breaking my home,
breaking my home. Yeah, that was heartbroken. How about you?
We're not talking about me right now.
Yeah. Y'all, completely heartbroken. And I took him back over and over again. He broke my heart.
How do you break it? How many pieces?
Over 115.
That's it? It was not even a lot.
I
don't like puzzles back, but I put that puzzle back together.
They say you don't know what love is when you're young. But why do you feel so strong? I'm 27, and to this day, I remember how I felt. Completely.
I feel like your first taste of feeling strongly for somebody, maybe. I don't know, because
he was my first love, maybe that's why. I don't know.
I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but I think when you grew up, but we grew up, you're forced to grow up faster, and you search for the love that you don't have. So I do think that people can't say you don't know what love is, because I feel like you know how you feel.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Even if you're not, if you were in love, you were in love.
Yeah, because I look back and I'm I know there's a lot that I didn't know about it, but I definitely.
Because even think about back in the day, my grandparents were married when they were 18, and had 5 kids by the time my grandma was 22.
Yeah, they're still together. Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to think they weren't in love.
Yeah, true.
You can't put a timeline on what you feel.
Yeah, that is true. But yep, that was around the time when I got heartbroken, y'all. 16, 17, bro.
So we're on the topic of, obviously she was in love when she was young. Yeah. But one of my biggest things is I cannot stand when friends I feel like friends will do this, mess with their friends, whatever, boyfriend, person they talk to. Like, I feel like that's weird. Like, I can't connect with somebody that I know that she has once felt something for, whether it's serious or not. And this one time, her first little whatever he was.
We was boyfriend, girlfriend, but we only did walked around every day. That's it. It was like 14.
Yeah. And we set him up.
Yes, we did. Because I knew something was up.
So he kept, like, saying stuff to me. So, obviously, I told her.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, okay, well, see if we'll meet up with you and blah, blah, blah. So what happened was, is we were hanging out. Our parents, well, my mom and this person's mom, were hanging out. So it was me, her, and him. And she sat on the phone with me because we knew something was off.
Yeah.
And
I knew he liked her pretty much.
Weird. So obviously we set up that I would like feed into it or whatever, and he got busted.
But y'all know that even when you're young, you know that feeling when like you're dating somebody that when they like your friend or something, and that's
just how you're a kid, you feel someone with a crush on you.
Yeah, and that shows what type of friend you have too, because some girls give into it, or some guys give into it. But we set him up, and so I broke up with him, and then after that he tried to get with me when we got older. Even when we got older, I was like, I would never date you again. You liked my friend. That's it. We'll always just be friends. We'll never date in our lives. Because I feel like if you're interested in my friend, that's it. Because I've never been interested in any of her, like, never. To this day. Even people that you dated, like, 7th grade. Not, But, yeah. Give me more.
You can't, I don't know, I just feel like you can't, if I can't trust you or feel comfortable with you around the person that I'm choosing to invest my life with or time into, like, we're not friends. Because, you know, if I'm, especially if I'm, like, confiding in her for the good moments, the bad moments, or praising him about this, or praising her about something he did, but also talking to her when he hurts me, like, how do I know that she's giving me the best advice or what's going to help make the situation better? Like, you can't play both sides. Either you are my friend and you listen and you praise us when we're good and help us when we're bad, or you're working against me because you're interested. That's weird.
Yeah, no, and it be like that. It's really like twists and turns. A lot of people, like a lot of girls I know, that they don't like to introduce their friends to their boyfriends until they're with them for a while because they don't be trusting girls around their men, or vice versa. Sometimes the men be sneaky too. You ever watch? I don't know if you're into like on you.
But the thing though is when you genuinely trust somebody, you don't worry about that because you know how they will respond. Just like I trust you, you trust me because you know how we're gonna respond to that.
Yeah.
Even when it comes to in a relationship. Now, if you have that trust in your partner, you're not gonna worry because you know that they're either not gonna respond or gonna respond in a way that's gonna be respectful to your relationship.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you gotta know, and sometimes you gotta test people so you can know if they're down true or not. Yeah.
Next question. So my next question for you is drumroll.
What's up? You don't have one?
No. I was gonna say something smart.
Dad.
I was gonna say something smart. I'm not going to.
See? People just don't.
Alright, I got one. Okay. My question for you is, this is gonna be something a little more
personal.
Yeah, I guess
That's
a little
cool.
deep. What is your opinion on certain things in our life can emotionally shift us? And that can be anything. It can be a job you're invested in, a career path you take. It could be a relationship. It could be a family issue. It could be a loss.
Yeah.
That shift you. What is your opinion on? Do you think that you can get back to yourself? Like people say, like, I'm not able to get back to myself. Or do you believe that you will form into a new version of yourself?
First, I think it depends on what happens as to how, you shift. But I don't believe, if you have anything major happening, you'll never get back to yourself. You're either going to grow or decline. But you can get back into a space where you're thinking healthier, thinking better, feeling better. But I believe that depending on what it is, you'll never get back to who you was if you change after that, because you changed. There's no going back. But you can get back to maybe finding happiness again, or finding joy again, or not staying in a sorrowful place depending on what goes on. You know what I mean?
So is it okay if I speak my opinion?
Yeah.
So what I've discovered through certain things in life is, and it took until this year for me to even realize this, that I can't wait to be myself again. But I personally think that you go through these things that shift you, and you can become. I feel like you're never gonna be the same again, or that's good or bad. It's not always a bad thing.
Yeah.
You could take a career path that changes you in a good way, that makes you, I don't know, more independent with your money, or more goal oriented. It can change you in a good way. It doesn't have to be a bad way.
Mm-hmm.
Or you also could have a heartbreak that even once you heal from it, you carry some of that with you.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, even once you heal, that's still a version of you now. You're not going to be as innocent when it comes to trusting somebody because your heart was once broke.
Yeah.
Or when it comes to losing somebody in your life, I feel like the day that you lose, I'll just speak on it. When I lost my sister, I knew that my life would never be the same after that.
Yeah.
I knew it. From that day on, my life would not be the same because a piece is now missing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's taken time. My whole life has shifted, but it's not as much as it's a bad and dark situation for me. I can't say that it's all bad though, because I do look at life different now in a good way in some ways. Just good came out of it to where I really don't going to bed with anybody on bad terms. Whether that's my grandma, my brother. No, I'm lying, because me and they argue. We just act like nothing happened. That's the person that did me. But I don't like going to sleep, because I just know that you can wake up and everything can be different. There's a difference between quality time and making memories than just being around somebody.
Yeah.
I even try to, even when it comes to me and my son, I like to take time to interact and play with him, rather than, I'm very cautious of, I'm on my phone too much or whatever it may be, because it's important that I grow a bond with him.
Mm-hmm.
Because tomorrow I could go, anything happened to, it could even get to the point where I pray this never happens to me, but let's even say I can't chase him around the house anymore, not because I died, because something happens to me. Just made me really try my best, because I'm not always in the best mindset, but to appreciate each day
and value life.
Yeah, value the moment.
Yeah, I also think too, sometimes it's okay to not be okay. We focus so much on, because I am positive, but I also am realistic. It's okay to be sad if you're sad about something. I'm just not into self-destruction while you're sad. Don't go do a whole bunch of drugs and you know what I mean, or don't commit suicide or nothing like that. Try to find something that's going to help you get through it in a way that's going to help you, not going to hurt you. But it's okay to not be okay. When you're sad some days, when you're just not feeling it, it's okay. If you need to talk to someone, do that. If you need counseling, then do that, because that's where I think mental health plays into. We try to act like nothing's wrong when it's okay to be
So, I agree with what you're saying, but I mean, but not, I've been there, so it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
I've had my family self-destruct. I've self-destructed in some ways. Not I went out and did crazy drugs or anything, but I've definitely made choices that weren't as healthy for me.
Yeah.
Just because I'm acting out of emotion.
Yeah.
And sometimes my mind is stronger than, my willpower or whatever.
Uh-huh.
But, I'll be open to speak about it. I don't even care now. I used to like be like really embarrassed or hide it or whatever, but after losing my sister, I struggled with depression. I was pregnant when I lost her. I had severe postpartum. I was like, life hit me at once. Like all of a sudden, I'm a new mom. The baby wasn't planned. I was on birth control.
Lots of life changes.
Yeah, and then, you know, what I seen while I was pregnant, and then trying to grieve while learning to be a new mom, and then to go back to work, and I was still trying to nurse him. It was a lot for me, and I never understood depression, but I knew something was wrong when I came home from work and I held my son. I looked at him, I was bawled my eyes out, and thinking that, you know, he deserves a better mom, and I don't get to see him, and he doesn't deserve a sad mom. And like it was really hard for me to admit something was wrong with me, because no one ever wants to admit that. And I was always against taking medication, and I ended up starting therapy. And after, you know, I was in therapy for, it was about a month, I think, at that point. I was going weekly.
Did it help though?
The therapy did help, but that's what I said. Like, she was giving me like good coping skills. But I still couldn't understand, like, why do I still feel so sad? Like, it doesn't matter what I'm doing to make myself feel happy. I still feel so sad. And that's when she was, you know, recommended medication, because she explained like the science behind it and the chemical imbalance in your brain and all that stuff. And I still was like refusing it at first. You know, I'm just like, I don't need no medicine to be happy. And then, you know, got to the point where I'm realizing, like, this is affecting me being a mom, me being a friend, me being everything, because I didn't know what to do with myself. My mind was so weak that, like, I when I say I had no control, I didn't. I would try to have control, but I couldn't control being mad. I couldn't control being angry, sad, and, you know, and I didn't know what to do with all these emotions. Where like I would throw things and break them, you know, or I would like drive my car and like just hoping like somebody would hit me. Like, I didn't want to hurt nobody, but I wanted myself to be hurt. And I used to make fun of people, and I feel so bad for that. But when I was a kid, being young and not knowing about all this stuff, who'd cut themselves. But I had an issue with cutting for a while as well, where it didn't make sense, because like it's almost like you don't want to die. I didn't want to leave my son, but I also didn't want to feel the pain I felt anymore. And that's when I didn't have enough knowledge about the medicine itself to know that, okay, at this point, that clearly this isn't working, and there are different kinds of antidepressants and which kinds to take, or some that work for others don't work for the people, or the time of day you take them and all that. So I was my first ones ever on, so I was just, I kept waiting and waiting for it to work, and it never did. And then it came to the point where I'm like, okay, I need to get off this, like, and I didn't know to wean myself, so I cold turkey quit taking it. I remember like being at work, and like I couldn't think straight. They're like telling me to go to like a patient's room, and I'm like, wait, what room did you say again? And just like the brain fogginess and all that. And I didn't feel that at the first couple of days, and then like after maybe like 5-6 days, when I started just like being like just confused a little bit. And then I was at work, and I remember having like a panic attack, which I've had them before, but not to where like I had to leave work. Like, I had to leave work, and I came home, and I've never in my entire life, like, I could say like during this whole journey I've had bad thoughts, but I never actually felt like I wanted to take my own life until that day. And I'm thankful that I didn't, but that's also why the lack of knowledge about everyone's aware of mental health now. People are depressed, people are suicidal, this and that, but no one talks about
it now. Yeah,
but no one talks about like the medication and the side effects of it, or the ones that are like work for some, work for, you know. I wasn't aware to wean myself, and even with being in the medical field, I wasn't on that high of a dose. I didn't think it would be an issue. And they say like the withdrawal from it is what can cause you to have these suicidal thoughts where it goes that bad.
Wait, let me stop you, because I had a friend that was depressed and that was taking like pills, and she said when she took the pills, like, she felt worse. Like, she said she was like She felt like so much more depressed with the pills.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what works for some people doesn't work for everybody else. Like, I was on Celexa, is what I was on. But also, Celexa's worked for other people that I know. But I didn't know that it wasn't working. But I also didn't know, even though it wasn't working, to quit. I didn't know how to quit taking it. I didn't think it was a big deal because I wasn't on that high of a dose, but I was on it for a while.
Yeah.
And you do go through, your brain was dependent on that. Like, you do go through withdrawal, which I wasn't thinking of it being like an addictive drug or anything, So, but I wish I had the knowledge to wean myself off of it, because I probably wouldn't have felt the way that I did. And I'm thankful that nothing did happen, because it could have.